also called as a IP addressing. Correct now? So logical addressing or IP addressing. Okay. So it is, the main protocol is IPv4. That's why we call it as a IPv4 addressing also. And this address is 32-bit address. Okay. And I also told you it is a very unique address, and also it is a universal defined address. Okay. And it is not for the device. Instead, this address will be given to a connection of a device. Okay. So it can be a computer or a router to the internet. So if you have an internet connection, when you take an internet connection to your system device, okay, so one IP address will be given. Okay, suppose if you are taking one Wi-Fi connection, one wired LAN connection, then it can have two IP addresses, but at a time you can use any one. Okay, so this is what we discussed. And I told you what you mean by address space also, and the notation and classful addressing. So till here we discussed little bit about that also. I will tell you. This is a IPv4 address which is 32-bit long and are unique and universal. Okay. So in entire world, one IP address only one connection can have, and the address space is nothing but the number of addresses. Okay, IPv4, how many addresses it can have, that we call it as a address space. And because it is a 32-bit address, 2 to the power of 32 or around 4 billion, okay, addresses one connection can have. Okay, so if you have all the sources, so one internet connection can provide up to this 4 billion systems. Okay, so that is the idea. And the notation, we have three types of notation: binary notation, then we have dotted decimal notation, and then we have hexadecimal notation. These three notations we have seen now. Okay, so here it is showing only two types. One is the dotted decimal notation. Okay, the same hexadecimal can be written. Okay, for example, it's hexadecimal I want base 16. Then I can call it this. I can write it as this is 8 and 0. Okay, this is 0 and how much it is 1011 means. Okay, so like that I can also write. Okay, hexadecimal notation. This is a binary notation, and you can see 32 bits how actually it is written. And this is one more common method of writing IP address is dotted decimal. Okay, so each byte you can see it is it can go up to 0 to 255. Okay, so it can range from 0 to 255. Each can range go up to 0 to 255. So base 256 it is. Okay, so this is the rotation. And then okay, so these are the two problems, simple problems. Okay, just to understand how to convert binary to decimal, dotted decimal, and dotted decimal to binary. Okay, so this is a simple example I have taken. I will take this. Okay, you need not write down. I will just say it. This is not so important, but how to convert dotted decimal to binary. Okay, or binary to dotted decimal. So this is an example. Change the following IPv4 addresses from binary notation to dotted decimal. See, very simple. Okay. So this is you can take the calculator and convert okay binary to decimal. Okay, and you just put a dot. That's it. After each okay 8-bit, you can just put a dot, so that becomes a dotted decimal. It's clear, very simple it is. We replace each group of 8 bits with its equivalent decimal number and add dots for separation. You can use calculator also to do it. Okay, so this is very simple. Okay, this is the next problem where the dotted decimals are given and you need to convert this into binary. Okay, this is also very simple. Take this first byte 111. You can convert this into its binary using calculator. Okay, and then write. Okay, but don't put a dot here. It's clear. So dot will be removed, and only its binary equivalent of each okay decimal okay value is written here. That's it. Okay, very simple. Just to understand, you can just see here. Here it is 7. This is 7. Okay, so very simple. Okay, these two are okay. Coming to this problem, find the error if any in the following IPv4 addresses. Okay, so can you tell me now? Okay, before I will not show you. Can you tell me in the first okay, I'm not able to hide it because it is a PDF. Okay, you can just see here the first one. All are listening now. Okay, see, this is the first dotted decimal notation address. Here 0 is there, and one condition for this is there must be no leading 0. 0, it cannot start with a 0 here. Okay, you need not write. If you write only 45, it is sufficient. Okay, 045 means it is wrong. This is the error in this first address. So what is the second one? There can be no more than 4 numbers. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And only 3 dots will be there. And how many dots are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is the error in this. And then coming to this, such things they will ask you in your interviews and all. Okay. So they may ask you for your placement interviews, how the IPv4 address, what is the error in this? Okay. And coming to the third one, what is the error? Okay, if you hide and okay, so this is the third digit. You can see what is this? 301. And I told you it can go only from 0 to 255. It is base 256. It cannot go more than 256 is also not possible. Okay, so maximum number is 255. So this is 301. So that means it is a error. So coming to this is a binary number, first digit, and then we have decimal. It's not allowed. Okay. So either you can have entire thing binary without dot, or with dot decimal. Okay. So combination you cannot do. So this is the error. Is it clear now, this problem? Okay. So we discussed 3 problems now. First 2 problems just to convert decimal to dotted decimal to binary to this one, and they may ask you also ask you to convert into hexadecimal. Given a binary address, you can easily convert that into hexadecimal. Is it clear? And these are the errors. Okay, so we should not write such addresses. Okay. So then in the last class only, I told you there are 2 types of addressing in IPv4. Okay. So one is classful addressing, the other one is classless. Okay. Classful addressing, I told you it is divided entire address space, that is 2 to the power of 32 addresses can be divided into 5 classes, A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. So and this also we have seen in the last class. What is this? In class A, the first byte, okay, is taken it as prefix, rest all. Okay, so total 32, no? So 32 minus 8 means 24. Total next 24 will become suffix. Okay, so this is a prefix. Okay, and the starting bit always, okay, the first byte, the starting will be 0, because class A will actually ranges from 0 to 127. Okay, so class A 0 to 127 is there in the first byte. That means it belongs to class A, something like that. Okay, my first byte of any address is going from 128 to 191, then I say this belongs to class B. Okay, and the first byte always will start from 10. If it is in its binary form, and if you find the first byte of the address is starting with 10, then I can easily say it is a class B. If it is 110, then class C. Okay, so these 3 are important. These 3 are unicast addresses. Okay, and the next one, class T, is a multicast. Okay, and you can see here there is no suffix. Okay, so in the second one we have 16 bytes 16 bits as the prefix, 16 bits as suffix. Whereas here 24 bits will become prefix and only this will become suffix. Okay. So in class C, number of addresses will be very less. Okay. So very less. So compared to class A will actually give more number of addresses. So if ISP, that is internet service provider, if you go and ask, okay, for your organization or any company, okay, so how many addresses you want, okay, if you are taking internet connection, then they'll ask how many you want, okay. So if you say 2000 I want some 50,000, okay. So depending upon your requirement, they'll allocate either class A, class B or class C. If more number of addresses are required, then class A will be allocated to you. Okay, medium addresses, I told you, no, suppose if you want only 2000 or 3000, then class B will be given to you, and very less. Okay, so if I'm taking for my one of the small organization, maybe around 100 connections if I want, then I can go for class C. So something like this it is. It's clear now? Okay, so what's the difference between class A, class B, class C addressing? And this is a multicast. Okay, so it starts from 1110. Okay, so in binary version, if you see 1110, or in the dotted decimal, if the value varies from 224 to 239. Okay, so 239, if the first byte is there, then it belongs to class D. Okay, and then class C is there, all 4 ones, but this is a reserved and it is not used by anybody. Okay, actually speaking, nowadays nobody uses class full addressing. Okay, so all will go for classless. This has become absolute. Okay, so nobody is using, because what will happen actually, I'll tell you. Okay, so class A, I told you, it can provide more number of connections. For example, if class A, around 1.6 lakhs of connections it can provide. Okay, and if you are buying class A and it is allocating up to 1 lakh 60,000, 65,000 something, then that addresses, suppose if you are not using, it is waste, is it not? Class B, as I told you, class B can provide 65,000 around addresses. Okay, so class B will provide 65,000 addresses. Suppose if I want only 2,000, so remaining all 63,000 addresses will go waste. Okay, but you cannot go for either this or this. You have to take class B, and the addresses will go waste. Okay, so this is the main drawback of the classful addressing. Okay, and also nowadays ISPs are only we are using, and we will pay only whatever it is required, is it not? There is no question of simply paying for extra connections. So that's the main motivation behind this classless addressing. So we will not go for this classful. Okay, so here prefix is fixed. Okay, so I don't want prefix to be fixed, so that number of addresses will be fixed. So instead we can go for a variable prefix one. Okay, so this classful addressing and classless addressing classification is done, okay, based on this only. Okay, and coming to this, find the class of each address. Can you see now? I told you about the classes. Okay, so first bit, just see the first bit if it is in binary, and I can say whether it is a class A, class B, class C, like that. Okay, class C. So for the first bit is 0, means it belongs to class A. Is it clear? Coming to the second address, 110. 110 means it is class C. If it is 10, then it is class B. Okay. Similarly, we have in the decimal, dotted decimal notation, these two addresses. And this also I can tell whether it belongs to class A, B, C, D, E, anything. And the first address is starting with 14. 14 means, okay, so you can see here in dotted decimal, 0 to 127 if it is there. Okay, 0 to 127 if it is there, you can just see here. then I say it is class A, 128 to 191. Okay, so then it is class B, something like that. So here coming to this, because 14 is within that, so I can say it is a class A address. Okay. Next, last one you can see it is starting from 252. 252.5.15.111. Okay, so what is this? Okay, the last one you can see here, the table in the table. Okay, so 240 to 255. Okay, then it belongs to class E. Okay, so this is how, seeing the address, I can say whether it belongs to class A, class B, class C, or D, or E. Okay, like this. Is it clear? You people are listening.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I told you, no, the block size, I told you around 1,60,000. Okay, class A will provide, class B will provide around 65,000, and class C will provide only 256. Okay, so that's the reason. Okay, if at all I want to have a very small network, and then I will go for class C. Okay, something like this. And these three are unicast, and the class T is a multicast. Okay, and then the class C is reserved. Actually, it is not used, and this has become completely obsolete. Okay. As I told you, because large part of the available addresses going waste, so this is not a better idea. Instead, okay, we can go for something to avoid this. This we call it as an address depletion. This problem, we'll call it as an address depletion. And in order to avoid this, what we actually do, we'll go for something called as subnetting and supernetting. Okay, it's not here, you can just write down. Okay, so first thing is, in this only classical addressing only, we'll try to add these two things. Okay, what is that? Subnetting and supernetting. Okay, subnetting, as the name itself indicates, whatever the given network, okay, or addresses, it is divided into sub-blocks. Okay, subnet, as the name itself indicates. So that if you divide it and then use, then it's called subnetting. Supernetting means combining, okay, smaller into a big network. Okay, supernet. Okay, so all this combining, ulta of subnetting it is. Dividing a large network into smaller network is subnetting. Combining all the small into big. Okay, it is called supernetting. So these two are used initially. Okay, and then also problem did not solve. Okay, then they went for this type of addressing. Okay, this is called as CIDR. Okay, so this is new type of addressing where we will use some mask here. Okay, so what is this mask? This is the notation only, they will change it. So only hexadecimal 4 digits we used to write, is it not? After that 4 digit, okay, I'll put a slash and then I'll write one digit. Okay, for example, here the first class you can see here /8 is written. Okay, so what is /8 indicates? 8 indicates the prefix length. Is it clear? Okay, instead of writing simply 255.0.0.0, I'll write 255.0.0/8. Okay, so if you just introduce their slash notation, this we call it as CIDR. What is this? We actually call it as a C indicates classless. Please write down if you want. CIDR, classless. C indicates classless interdomain. Okay, ID indicates inter-domain routing. Okay, CIDR is nothing but classless inter-domain routing. Okay, this is the other name for this is a slash notation. Okay, so because classful has the so many disadvantages, And only one advantage of classful addressing is the prefix is fixed. Here 8, 16, 24 we have. Okay. So this prefix length is fixed. Instead of fixing this prefix length, okay, if I use a variable prefix length, then entire thing will become a classless addressing. It's clear? So the CIDR notation, that's why this classless inter-domain routing. Okay, classless inter-domain routing, CIDR. So this is a classful. They introduce a mask here. This is actually called as mask. Okay. And here, because the prefix length is first 8 bits are there, then 16 bits, and then 24 bits. Okay. So that prefix is shown here. Okay. And okay, this is not required actually. This type of problems they will not ask. How the this is one network where 16 addresses are granted to a small organization. So this is the first address, this is the last address. Okay, so they can use all these 16 addresses. Okay, so this is a decimal, dotted decimal, how to write it, and it's how to write these 16 addresses is in decimal. Okay, so they'll ask you such questions. They'll give you one address and they'll ask you to find the what is the first address, the last address, and number of addresses. Okay, so here because this is given. Okay, so for in this example, the first by address is given and the last address is given. Okay, so next you can just write down all the 16. I can just write down 33, 34, 35, like that. I can increase. Okay, then I'll get complete addressing set. Okay, so this is an example, 16 addresses, how it is. Okay, this also I have told you. Now that it is defined as XYZT/N. /N defines the mask, and X dot Y dot Z dot T defines one of the addresses. Okay, so it can, okay. Now in the last problem we have seen 16 addresses. Number of addresses are 16. First byte was given, the last address was also given. Now, if it is not given, instead any one random address is given and they'll ask you to find out what's the first address and the last address, then it is very easy to find. Okay, so there are two methods we can find. Very important, this problem they may ask in the test or exam. You just see here how to find the first address. Listen, the first address in the block can be found by setting the rightmost 32 minus n bits to zeros. This n bits will be given. N is nothing but the /n. It is /n and prefix length it is. Okay. So if the n value is given, okay, then you can find the first address of the block by making rightmost 32 minus n bits. Okay, so number of bits, how many bits you have to make zeros, that it depends upon the n value. What is the n value? It is the prefix length. Okay, so this is a example you can write down. Okay, or I will share the slide. You just see here. If you write, you will understand better. Okay, see here. This is an example. Very nice problem it is. A block of addresses is granted to a small organization, and we know that one of the addresses is given. Okay, and you just see here it is /28. This is very important. What is this 28 indicates? It's a variable length prefix. Okay, so 28 is the prefix length actually, and n value. N is 28 now. So what is the first address in the block? Okay, so this is a simple. Actually, one problem they will ask you these three questions. Part A, what is the first address in the block? Part B, what is the last address in the block? Part C, how many number of addresses are there in the block? Is it clear? So all the three they will ask in together, but this example it is shown separately. First address separate, second last address separate, and then the number of addresses. Is it clear? You're getting my point? Okay. See, in this example, okay, so how to, either you can write, first thing is you have to write it, it's binary representation. Write whatever it is there, convert into binary, you can use your calculator, 205, convert into binary, write it, 16. Okay, without that you can write 37, you can write 39, you can write. Okay, now what is the, this one, how to make it, how to find the first address. First address means what you need to do is you have to make the last 32 rightmost. Okay, 32 minus n means 32 minus 28 means 4 bits to zeros. You can see here the last 4. You can see here the last 4. Okay, 0 triple 1 is there na? So I have made all the first 4 bits as zeros. Okay, so 32 minus 28 means 4. So that's why this is done, and you can write its decimal notation, then it becomes 32. Okay, so this is nothing but 32. So this bit 1. Okay, so if it is here it is 2, if it is here it is 4, it is 8. This is 32 only, na? Decimal, convert it into decimal, it becomes 32. Okay, so this is the first problem. Okay, so next thing is we need to find the last address of the block. Okay, so instead of making zeros, if you just make it 1, last bits we made it as zeros. If you make the last bits as 1, then I'll get the last address. That's a very simple problem. So the next one we will see it here, the same example, but I am finding the last address. So what is the change I have done? 0 triple 1 was there. This is changed to all 111, 4 bits, last 4 bits. Okay, so rightmost bits we made it as 11, then it is coming 47. So this is actually the block. Okay, I already told shown one block, na? So this is the block. This is only the block. So 32 is the first address and 47 is the last address. And number of addresses is also you can find. And how do you find the, okay, number of addresses in the block can be found using the formula 2 to the power of 32 minus n. This is the formula. Okay, so if I know first address and last address, I can count also. But instead of counting, okay, I can also find 16 means I can count, but if it is more, then it is difficult. Then this is the formula to find the number of addresses. So what you need to do, the value of n is 28, which means the addresses 2 to the power of 32 minus 28, that is nothing but 4. So 2 to the power of is 16. So I got to know now number of addresses I have is 16. Okay. So all of you start writing your USN and name in the chat so that I'll save it for my attendance. Okay. You have to write your name only. I can make out if anybody writes the other person name. Okay. So already I would have got your name. If at all, if you are writing other attendance, I'll get to know. Okay. So you please write only your name. Okay. So now at the end, 55 students are there. Okay. So now 54, excluding me, only 53 students. Okay, so it is not like that because entire thing I am recording also this one and we'll get to know when new people have joined. Okay, so later it may become a problem. Is it clear? Now we have understood how to find the there is one way of finding. Okay, so one way of finding is using these method, first byte, the last byte, and the number of addresses. Okay, so there is one more way also. Another way to find the first address, the last address, and the number of addresses is to represent the mask as a 32-bit binary. Same. Okay, but here what we need to do. This is a particularly useful when we are writing a program to find these pieces of information, because when we are doing this becomes very simple, because and or and all we can easily do with the programming. Okay, so here what they have done here, see here. Now we need to find, this is the address given, the same problem it is taken /28 only, and 28 ones and 4 zeros are written. Okay, so here instead of what we used to do, on the last 4 bits we used to write 0 0. So here what is done actually, 28 first 28 have become, okay, ones, and the last 4 have become 0. Okay, so with this also we can find the first address, the last address, and the number of addresses, total number of addresses. How we can do it? You can just see here. The first address can be found ANDing. Okay, so I told you, because and or and all, because it is easy. So that is what we will do it. And this is the mask. Okay, so this mask I had to AND with the address. Okay, so whatever the given address, the same address we are taking here. That address, okay, in binary is AND with the mask. The mask is first 28 are ones, the last 4 bits are 0. That is the mask. So if you do AND operation, okay, so bitwise, okay, 1 1 AND is 1 1 AND is 1, okay, 0 and 1 AND is 0. Like this, if you do it, okay, so you will get some address. That address will become the first address. Very easy, is it not? Okay, so you have to just write the binary representation of it, and then mask, or the given mask, whatever it is there, you have to just AND operation you have to do it. Okay, so now the last address I want. So what I will do to find the last address can be found by ORing the given addresses with a complement of the mask. This mask, the first 28 bits, I will make it complement, that is zeros, and the last bit I will make it as ones. And the complement, this instead of ANDing, so I will do ORing. Okay, so you know OR operation. Okay, so if I do it, then I'll get the last address. Is it clear? This is the second method. First method is the difference. I have to take 28, that is 32 minus 28, and that bits I have to make it 0. Then I'll get the first address. If I make it 1, then I'll get the last address. Then 2 to the power of n minus 32, 32 minus n, I'll be getting the total number of addresses. So instead of this ANDing operation, ORing operation with the mask, okay, also I'll get the first and the last address. Okay, so now suppose if I want total number of addresses, now this also you can do it with this. So what you need to do, the mask complement whatever it is there, okay, the number of addresses can be found by complementing the mask, putting it as a decimal number and adding 1 to it. That's it. Okay, so this is a mask complement. This is nothing but 15. 15 plus 1, if you add, it becomes 16. Okay, so this is how the okay, same thing I explained just now. Okay, is it clear? And one more thing, the first address in a block is normally not assigned to any device. Instead, we'll keep it as the network address that represents the organization or to the rest of the world. So the first we usually will not use, and the next addresses will be used. Like this is an example of a phone. Okay, so usually a phone will have a area code, then the exchange, and then subscriber number. Okay, so like this we have hierarchy in our addressing also. Okay, so first 28 bits will become network prefix, and last 4 bits becomes host address. Okay, so this is how it is there. And if at all, if you are using okay, each address in the block can be considered as a 2-level hierarchical structure, the prefix and the suffix. Okay, so first prefix defines the network, and then the last suffix will represent the host or the node. Okay, So this is one address where you can just see here. This is subnetting. I told you, no, if we divide this into subnets, entire address, okay. So this is subnet, okay, subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3, and the first address, okay, will be different. Okay, you can see here it is 47, it is 63, and it is 31. Okay, slash 27 here, slash 28 here. Okay, so this is important. First address, second address, third address. Okay, so this is important. Subnetting. So rest of the things we'll do it in the next class. Okay, so is it clear now? Is it clear now? Actually, all the what all we discussed in today's class. Okay, so it's time up. All of you have written. Only 40 members have written your names in the chat. All of you write your name for your attendance. Okay, so rest all we'll discuss in the next class.